Morning guys, John here with Sifter Organics. Today we are going to be starting our soil blocks and planting some seeds. So it's pretty exciting for us today. It's our first year, we're getting going, and this is a big moment. So we're pretty happy with that. But part of that is we have to do our own soil block mix for our molds because the regular potting soil, I guess, doesn't hold together quite as well. There's a lot of water in the soil blocks by the time you mold them, and it just doesn't work as well with the conventional potting soil mixes. So we're gonna make our own. But part of that, we have to screen everything down, so and mix it all together. So we have a tub here that we had just at the house, old Halloween tub. Any Rubbermaid will do, whatever. We'll disinfect it and all of that. Carry on. But I'm going to use 1/4-inch hardware cloth as a screen, some 2x2 that I had laying around as a frame, and yeah, we're gonna just screen it all out. It'll sit right on top of the box like that when we're done, and it'll make our particles nice and small and fine, and it'll hopefully make everything stick together well. So stick with me. We're gonna make some cuts. I already took some measurements, and then put it together, see how it works. Hopefully it works. Alright guys, so I've taken some measurements already. I've got a bit of an idea how I'm going to do this, so we'll go ahead and measure these 2x2s, make a couple of cuts, put some stuff together and see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Alright, so I got a couple cut to 21 inches, couple cut to 23 inches, 21 and a half. It should work with the top of my tub. We'll put it together, we'll see how it sits and find out. Alright, so basically my idea is to sit our frame right on top like this. We'll box it all in and screw a couple pieces on the side to hold it from shaking. Then add the screen on top and call it a day. Okay, so I'm going to start by just screwing everything together. I got some wood screws and our stuff cut, so just go ahead and get at it. I'm pretty well just making a box. I'm going to screw the shorter pieces on top, the smaller pieces on the bottom, and then we'll get some pieces cut to finish framing it up and attach our hardware cloth to the whole thing. That should work out pretty good, hopefully. Well, that's a good start. A little wobbly, but it'll all stiffen up when we get everything together. I'm just going to fit it and make sure that it sits okay, and we'll see how it goes. Yes, that works pretty good. I'm pretty happy there. I don't see any problems. I think that'll work okay. I'll pretty much just cut the mesh out now to fit here, staple it on where we have it, and then cut a couple of pieces to finish the frame up, and that'll be the end of that. So my next step is to cut our cloth to fit underneath here. I want to cut it so that I can staple to the top of this piece and the bottom of this piece, and I think that that'll help us out, but we'll see. So first I'll cut it to length, I guess, get it pretty close anyway, so it's a little easier to work with. Be careful when you're cutting this stuff. It does have sharp edges. I should probably be wearing gloves, but I'm not. But I'm gonna just cut it here and get it sort of where I want it to be, and then we'll fine tune it, staple it in, screw our last couple pieces on, and that's pretty well it. We'll be ready to start mixing our soil. So there we got it kind of roughly cut to where we want it. You know, trim down this side after, but we can deal with the rest for now. So, like I said, I want to make a small cut here to slide it on top. Here. And we'll pretty well just go down the width of the 2x2, about 1.5 inches or so, just enough to get it under on that corner. And the same thing for here. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with the way that that sits. That worked out. And then once we staple everything together, we'll pop our wood pieces in, we'll stiffen everything up, hold everything together well, and everything should work out nicely, I think. Yeah, it's a better fit. Alright, I'm pretty happy with the way that sits, so I'm going to go ahead and staple it in and see what happens. Of course, I'm out of staples, I think. The stapler doesn't quite go all the way through this wood, so I just thought I'd smack them in a little better. I think I'll put one or two more in over here too. that's that. We'll come to this side. Put these pieces in. Like so. Nothing fancy, just holding in this screen. Alright, so we'll get a couple of screws in here. You don't have to go nuts, I don't think. It's enough to hold it. A little camera trouble there, but this is basically what we're after. It's gonna just sit there, our compost will screen through, and our soil block mix should go well. I gotta trim a little of this off, protect the edge a little bit more maybe, bend it in and staple it or cut it. We'll figure something out for that, and then that's pretty well it. It's not pretty, it's not fancy, but it's gonna work and do the job. Alright guys, so that pretty well wraps it up. Here's our finished product. It's not perfect, it's not pretty, not fancy, neither am I, so it works. I ended up using some 1-inch, or half-inch rather, by about 2.5-inch pieces, just to go around the edges to cover up the sharp edges of that mesh that we cut. But other than that, it works pretty good. It just sits on top of our box. And I think it looks pretty good. So there it is there. Our compost will go through the holes. The rest of our soil block mix. We'll fill up the bucket and we'll take it from there. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, share, subscribe, do all those things, and we'd appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.